The Christmas lights blurred into streaks of red and green as she fell. 5 stories, pregnant, 7 months. Her husband had just pushed her off their balcony. This is the story of Claire Hoffman, a woman who survived the impossible, a fall that should have killed her, and her unborn baby. But here's where it gets unbelievable. She didn't hit the pavement. She landed on a car, and not just any car, her billionaire ex-boyfriend's Mercedes, the man she'd left 5 years ago, for the husband who just tried to murder her. Coincidence? Fate? Divine intervention? Whatever you call it, it saved her life. But survival was just the beginning, because her husband made bail. His mother defended him on national television. And Claire had to stand up in court, tell her truth, face her abuser, fight for justice. This is a story about betrayal, about survival, about a woman who discovered strength she didn't know she had, about starting over when starting over feels impossible. It's a story about love, lost and found, about second chances, about a daughter born into freedom. And it all started with a fall. Stay with me because this story will break your heart. And then put it back together. Let's begin. The Christmas lights blurred into streaks of red and green as I fell. Time stretched. The air rushed past my face, cold, sharp. December wind cutting through my sweater. My hands went to my belly. 7 months. My baby. Our baby. The impact came like the world ending. Then darkness. Beeping pulled me back. Steady, rhythmic. A machine somewhere close. My eyes wouldn't open at first. Too heavy, everything hurt. A dull ache that covered my entire body like a heavy blanket. My hands. I needed to move my hands. My fingers found my belly. Still round, still there. I pressed gently. A flutter. Movement. A sigh broke from my throat. "She's awake." A woman's voice. Soft, professional. "Mrs. Hoffman, can you hear me?" I forced my eyes open. Fluorescent lights, white ceiling tiles. A nurse leaned over me, young, dark hair pulled back, kind eyes. My baby. My voice came out like gravel. Rough, painful. "Your baby is alive," the nurse said. She squeezed my hand. "You're both fighters. The doctor is coming." Alive. We were alive. The door opened. A woman in scrubs entered. Older, 50 or so. Silver streaks in her brown hair. Her badge read Dr. Patricia Reynolds, trauma surgery. "Mrs. Hoffman." She pulled a chair close to the bed. "I'm Dr. Reynolds. You fell 5 stories onto a parked car. By all accounts, you shouldn't be here, but you are." 5 stories. The balcony. Christmas morning. Derek. "How long?" I asked. 18 hours. "We kept you sedated while we assessed your injuries. You have a fractured pelvis, 3 broken ribs, severe bruising, but miraculously your baby appears unharmed. We're monitoring closely." I closed my eyes. Tears leaked down my temples. "Mrs. Hoffman." Another voice, deeper. I opened my eyes. A woman in a blazer stood near the foot of my bed. "Detective," I could tell by the way she carried herself. "I'm Detective Ruth Campbell. I need to ask you some questions about what happened." The nurse stepped back. Dr. Reynolds remained seated. Her hand rested on the bed rail, protective. "Can this wait?" Dr. Reynolds asked. "She just woke up." "I understand," Detective Campbell said, "but the sooner we talk, the better. Mrs. Hoffman, do you remember what happened yesterday morning?" Yesterday, Christmas Day, the tree in our living room, lights twinkling, presents underneath, most of them from Derek's mother. Barbara always went overboard. Derek's face, red with rage, his hands on my shoulders, the balcony door. Open, cold air rushing in, his voice. "You trapped me." The push. "Mrs. Hoffman?" I looked at the detective. She waited, patient. Her eyes were gray, clear. No judgment there, just focus. I could say I slipped. That's what I'd planned to say if I ever ended up here. If Derek ever went too far, I'd rehearsed it, practiced in the mirror while covering bruises with makeup. I fell. I'm clumsy. The baby makes me off balance. The lies sat on my tongue, familiar, comfortable. My husband pushed me off our balcony. The words hung in the air. The first true thing I'd said about Derek in 5 years. Dr. Reynolds' hand tightened on the bedrail. The nurse's eyes went wide. Detective Campbell's expression didn't change. She just nodded, pulled out a notebook. Can you tell me more? Before I could answer, the door burst open. Barbara Hoffman swept in like a winter storm. Expensive coat, designer handbag, perfectly styled silver hair. Derek's mother, my mother-in-law. Claire, she rushed to the bed, pushed past the detective. Oh my God, my poor girl, what happened? Derek is beside himself, absolutely beside himself. Detective Campbell stepped forward. Ma'am, this is an active investigation. I need to ask you to wait outside. Barbara ignored her. She grabbed my hand, squeezed too hard, her perfume. Lavender? She always wore lavender. Even now, even here. Derek said you were decorating the balcony, that you wanted more lights. He told you to wait. He told you it was dangerous, but you insisted. Her voice carried across the room, making sure everyone heard. Pregnancy hormones. You've been so emotional lately. So impulsive. Mrs. Hoffman, Detective Campbell's voice got harder. I need you to step outside now. My son would never hurt anyone. Never. Barbara's grip on my hand became painful. Her nails dug in. She's confused. The fall, the trauma. She doesn't know what she's saying. Ma'am, the detective moved closer. Security will remove you if necessary. Barbara finally looked at the detective. Her expression shifted, calculating. She released my hand, smoothed her coat. Of course, I'm just worried. You understand. My son's wife, my grandchild. She leaned down, kissed my forehead, whispered in my ear. Be careful what you say, dear. Lies have consequences. Then she left. The room felt colder after she walked out. And Detective Campbell returned to the foot of the bed. Mrs. Hoffman, do you want to continue or would you prefer to rest first? Continue, I said. My hand went to my belly again. The flutter was stronger now, my daughter. Because I knew it was a girl somehow. I'd known for weeks. She was fighting. I needed to fight too. Tell me about yesterday morning. I told her, all of it. Derek's rage about the pregnancy, his accusation that I trapped him, the names he called me, the push, the sensation of falling. The Christmas lights streaking past. Dr. Reynolds stayed the whole time, her hand on my arm, steady, grounding. When I finished, Detective Campbell closed her notebook. Thank you, I know that wasn't easy. A forensics team is processing your apartment. We have the car you landed on. A neighbor's security camera may have captured footage. We're checking that now. He'll say I'm lying, I said. He always does. Let us worry about that, the detective replied. Right now, you focus on healing. Both of you. She left. Dr. Reynolds stood. You need rest. But first, there's something you should know. The car you landed on, the owner is here. He's been here all night. He wants to make sure you're okay. My heart stopped. Who? A Mr. Jonathan Bradford. He said you might know him. John, the car was John's. Of all the cars on the street, of all the places I could have landed, fate, destiny, divine intervention, whatever you wanted to call it. Does he want to see me? My voice came out small. He said only if you want to. No pressure. Dr. Reynolds smiled. He seems very concerned, very respectful. I looked down at my hands, my wedding ring, still there, a simple gold band. Derek had insisted we didn't need anything fancy. He'd picked it out. I'd never liked it. My phone sat on the rolling table beside the bed. Face down, I reached for it. My ribs screamed. The nurse hurried over. Help me. 3 missed calls, all from Derek. I stared at the screen. Lock, unlock, lock, unlock, lock. My hands shook. I put it face down again. Tell Mr. Bradford. I paused, took a breath. Tell him I need time, but thank him for being here. Of course, Dr. Reynolds headed for the door, stopped, looked back. Claire, you're safe here. Hospital security is outside your door. No one gets in without clearance. Understand? I nodded. She left. The nurse adjusted my IV, checked my vitals. Try to rest, she said. Press the button if you need anything. Alone, finally alone, I closed my eyes, saw the balcony, the railing, Derek's face, heard his voice. You trapped me, but I was the one who'd been trapped. For 5 years, in a marriage that slowly crushed me. Day by day, piece by piece, until I barely recognized myself. I'd loved him once, or thought I did. He'd been charming, attentive, everything John wasn't. John with his intimidating wealth, his brilliant friends, his world I didn't fit into. Derek had been safe, comfortable, normal, until he wasn't. The baby moved again, stronger this time, a kick against my hand. I'm sorry, I whispered. I'm so sorry I brought you into this, but we're going to be okay. We're going to be safe, I promise. I meant it. For the first time in years, I meant every word. 5 years ago, Christmas Eve, John's penthouse in Manhattan. Snow fell outside the floor-to-ceiling windows. The city sparkled below. Millions of lights. The tree in the corner reached almost to the ceiling. White lights, simple, elegant, like everything in John's life. I stood by the window, glass of champagne in my hand, barely touched. John was in the kitchen, making hot chocolate. His specialty, he always made it from scratch. Dutch cocoa, real vanilla, heavy cream. My phone buzzed, a text from my mother. Make sure you thank him for the gifts. Don't embarrass us. My family loved John, of course they did. He'd paid off their mortgage last year, a birthday gift to me. I hadn't asked. He'd just done it, like it was nothing, like $50,000 meant nothing to him. It probably didn't. Claire? John appeared with 2 mugs, his smile. God, that smile had captured me 2 years ago at a charity gala. I'd been there with my marketing firm, working. He'd been there as a donor. We'd talked about art, books, everything except money. He'd asked for my number. I'd given it. The rest unfolded like a dream, until the dream started feeling like pressure. You're quiet tonight, and he said. He handed me a mug. Our fingers touched. Warmth spread through me, not from the chocolate. Just thinking, I said. About? Everything. Us, the future, the ring box I'd seen in his coat pocket when I'd hung it up earlier. The proposal I knew was coming. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. Christmas Day. I should have been excited, thrilled. Most women would have been. Work, I lied. Big campaign starting in January. John studied me. He saw too much, always had. Claire, talk to me. What's really going on? I couldn't. The words stuck in my throat. How do you tell someone perfect that you feel inadequate? That every day with him reminded you of everything you weren't? That his kindness felt like charity? Derek's voice in my head. We'd met 3 months ago. He was a client, real estate, charming, funny, pursued me relentlessly. I'd kept him at arm's length, stayed faithful to John. But Derek's words lingered. He's buying you. You know that, right? The gifts, the trips. He's collecting you like art. I'm fine, I said, smiled, fake. Just tired. John didn't push. He never pushed. That was part of the problem. He was too patient, too understanding, too perfect. We drank our hot chocolate, watched the snow. He told me about a new tech startup he was funding. Clean energy, something that would change the world. He always talked about changing the world. I talked about campaigns for laundry detergent. The distance between us felt like a canyon. That night I stayed over. We made love, gentle, tender. He whispered that he loved me. I said it back, meant it, but something had broken inside me. Some certainty I'd once had. Christmas morning, John made breakfast. Pancakes, fresh berries, real maple syrup. We exchanged gifts. He gave me diamond earrings. Tasteful, expensive. I gave him a book. First edition Hemingway. I'd saved for months. His face lit up like I'd given him the world. The ring box stayed in his pocket. He knew. Somehow, he knew. That afternoon, I told him I needed space. Time to think. He agreed immediately, said he'd wait, said he understood. By New Year's, I'd ended it. Coward that I was, I did it over the phone. Couldn't face him. Couldn't see the hurt in his eyes. He asked why. I gave him platitudes. We want different things. I need to focus on my career. It's not you, it's me. All lies, the truth. I was terrified of his world, of not being enough, of waking up one day and seeing disappointment in his eyes. Better to end it on my terms, before he realized I didn't belong. Derek was there to pick up the pieces, supportive, understanding. He didn't have a penthouse, just a nice apartment in Brooklyn. He drove a Honda, took me to chain restaurants, split the bill. It felt real, honest, equal. We were engaged by Valentine's Day, married by summer. The first time he grabbed my arm too hard was our 3-month anniversary. Accused me of flirting with the waiter. Apologized later. Blamed stress. Work pressure. I believed him. I wanted to believe him. The pattern established itself slowly. So slowly I barely noticed. Looking back, I could see it. Every step, every manipulation, every boundary crossed. But in the moment, in the day-to-day, I just kept making excuses. Kept thinking it would get better. Kept remembering the good times. What good times? God, I was so stupid. The signs were all there. Mrs. Hoffman? I opened my eyes. Back in the hospital. Present day. The memory faded. A security guard stood in the doorway. Big, professional, calm. Yes? There's a man here to see you, Mr. Jonathan Bradford. He has a lawyer with him. They say it's about your case. Should I let them in? My heart hammered. John, here, after 5 years. I looked down at myself. Hospital gown, bruises everywhere, hair matted, no makeup to hide behind. Pride said no. Send him away. Don't let him see you like this. Survival said yes. You need help. Swallow your pride. Yes, I said. Let them in. The guard stepped aside. John entered first. 5 years. He looked exactly the same. Dark hair, gray eyes. Tall, lean. That same intensity that had attracted and terrified me. He wore jeans, a sweater. Nothing flashy. He'd never been flashy. Our eyes met. The air left the room. Hello, Claire. His voice exactly as I remembered. Deep, warm. No anger there, no accusation. Just concern. John, my voice broke. I'm sorry about your car. He smiled, small, sad. The car is fine. Are you? I'm alive. Because you're a fighter. He moved closer, stopped a respectful distance from the bed. This is Marcus Webb. He's a lawyer, criminal defense, former prosecutor, the best in the city. The man behind John stepped forward, 40-something, sharp suit, intelligent eyes. He carried a briefcase. Mrs. Hoffman, Marcus said, I've reviewed the preliminary police report. With your permission, I'd like to represent you. No charge, pro bono. I don't understand, I said. Looked at John. Why? John's jaw tightened. Because Derek Hoffman will never hurt you again. I'm going to make sure of that. The certainty in his voice, the steel underneath. This was the John I'd forgotten. The one who built empires, who fought for what he believed in, who never backed down. I'd run from this strength. Thought it would overwhelm me, but right now I needed it. Okay, I said, yes, please help me. Marcus opened his briefcase, pulled out documents. I need you to tell me everything, from the beginning. Don't leave anything out, no matter how small. Can you do that? I glanced at John. He nodded. I'll wait outside if you're more comfortable. No. The word came out fast. Stay. Please. He pulled a chair close. Sat. Didn't touch me. Didn't crowd me. Just sat. Present. Solid. Marcus recorded my statement. Every detail. Every incident. 5 years of marriage compressed into 90 minutes. The isolation. The financial control. The verbal abuse. The first slap. The escalation. Yesterday morning, the push. John's hands curled into fists on his knees. His face remained calm, but his eyes, God, his eyes burned. When I finished, Marcus closed his notebook. Thank you. This is good. Very good. Detective Campbell is competent. The DA's office will take this seriously, especially with the security footage. There's footage? I asked. Your neighbor across the street has a camera, covers the front of their building. Your balcony is visible. We're working on getting access to that footage now. Hope, fragile, tentative, but there. What about Derek? I asked. Where is he? Marcus and John exchanged a look. At his mother's house, Marcus said, but that won't last long. Once the DA reviews the evidence, they'll issue a warrant. He'll be arrested, probably tomorrow. Tomorrow, Derek would know, I told. He'd know I broke the code. His code. The one that said what happened in our marriage, date in our marriage. He'll say I'm lying, I said. He'll twist everything. Let him try, Marcus replied. We have evidence, medical records, the footage once we get it. This isn't he said, she said. This is attempted murder. Attempted murder. The words made it real, made it impossibly real. I started shaking, couldn't stop. My teeth chattered. John stood. Marcus, give us a minute. Marcus nodded, packed his briefcase, left. John moved to the bed, still didn't touch me. Claire, breathe, look at me. I looked, got lost in gray eyes. You're safe, he said. I know you don't believe that yet, but you are. Hospital security, police protection, me. No one is getting near you, understand? Why are you doing this? The question burst out. I left you. I hurt you. Why would you help me? His expression softened. Because I never stopped caring about you. Because what Derek did is unforgivable. Because that's your baby. Because it's the right thing to do. He paused. And because somewhere deep down, I think you're still the woman I loved. The one who was scared, but also brave. Brave enough to finally tell the truth. Tears came hot, fast, unstoppable. 5 years of tears. 5 years of holding everything in. John grabbed a tissue box, handed me tissues, let me cry, didn't try to fix it, didn't minimize it, just sat, witnessed. When the tears slowed, he spoke again. I'm not trying to rescue you. You don't need rescuing. You're doing that yourself. But I'm here. If you need support, a friend, whatever you need, no strings, no expectations. John, my voice came out hoarse. Why did you really leave me? The question I should have asked 5 years ago, his turn to look away. Because you clearly didn't want to be with me anymore. You pulled away, shut down. I could feel you slipping through my fingers. I thought if I gave you space, you'd come back. But you didn't. I was scared, I admitted, raw honesty, of your world, of not being good enough, of waking up one day and you realizing you'd made a mistake. Claire. He looked back. I never cared about any of that. Your education, your family's money, none of it mattered. I just cared about you. Your laugh, your kindness, the way you saw the world. I've dated a dozen women since you. None of them were you. The words destroyed something in me, some last piece of denial. I made the biggest mistake of my life, I whispered. Leaving you for him. Maybe, John said, or maybe you needed to learn something. Figure something out, I don't know. But you're here now, Aleem, fighting, that's what matters. A knock at the door. Megan burst in, my best friend since college, Nurse Scrubs, her red hair wild like she'd run the whole way. She stopped when she saw John. You. Her voice went cold. What the hell are you doing here? Megan, I said, it's okay. It's not okay. She moved to the bed, put herself between John and me, protective. He doesn't get to just show up after 5 years, after what you went through getting over him. I landed on his car. I said, he's helping me. Megan turned, really looked at me, saw my face, my body, the machine, the reality of what happened. Oh God, she breathed. Claire, what did he do? And I told her, again, watched her face cycle through emotions. Shock, horror, rage, grief. When I finished, she sat on the edge of the bed, took my hand. I should have pushed harder. I saw the signs, the bruises you tried to hide, the way you made excuses. I should have done something. It's not your fault, and I said, I got good at hiding. She looked at John. You're really helping her? Yes, he said simply. Good. She nodded. Because Derek is going to pay for this, if it's the last thing I do. My phone buzzed on the table. All of us looked. Another call from Derek. Fourth one since I woke up. Don't answer it, John said. I won't, I replied. But I stared at the screen. Lock, unlock, lock. The pattern was automatic, compulsive. A habit formed over years of monitoring Derek's moods through text messages and calls. Megan took the phone, turned it off. You don't need this right now. Focus on healing. Both of you. She put her hand on my belly. The baby kicked. Strong, determined. She's a fighter, I said. Like her mother, Megan replied. She looked at John. Thank you for being here, for helping. I misjudged you. John stood. I should let you two talk. Rest, Claire. Marcus will be in touch tomorrow. We'll handle everything legal. You focus on getting better. He walked to the door, stopped, looked back. For what it's worth, he said. I forgave you a long time ago. Forgive yourself too. Then he left. Megan squeezed my hand. Okay, tell me everything, from the beginning, the real beginning. So I did, again. Because that's what trauma is, telling your story over and over, each time carving it deeper into your bones, making it real, making it matter, making sure you never forget, never let it happen again. Megan stayed until visiting hours ended. We talked, cried, made plans. She brought me clothes from my apartment, things Derek hadn't contaminated. Clean underwear, a comfortable robe, toiletries. After she left, I sat in the hospital bathroom, stared at myself in the mirror. A stranger looked back. Hollow eyes, bruised face, split lip I hadn't noticed before. This was what Derek had done. 5 years of slow destruction, building to yesterday morning, Christmas morning. The final act. How did I get here? How did the confident marketing executive become this broken woman in a hospital gown? The answer lived in 1,000 small moments. Tiny compromises, little lies I told myself. I ran a bath. The hospital had a private bathroom with a tub, trauma unit amenities. I filled it with lukewarm water, lowered myself in, fully clothed in my hospital gown. The fabric clung to me, heavy, suffocating. The porcelain was cold against my back. Fluorescent lights hummed above. I closed my eyes, breathed, just breathed. This was the breathing room I needed. After the intensity of telling my story, after seeing John, after facing the truth, I stayed there until the water went cold, until my fingers pruned, until I could face going back into the world. Later in bed, I couldn't sleep. My mind churned through memories, not the good ones. There weren't many good ones, not really, but the moments I'd misread, the red flags I'd ignored. 3 months into dating Derek, our first fight, he'd accused me of flirting with a client, grabbed my arm, not hard enough to bruise, just hard enough to hurt, to show me he could. I'd made excuses. He was passionate. He cared so much. Jealousy meant love. Right? Wrong. God, I was so stupid. The signs were all there, 6 months in. He suggested I quit my job. We were engaged by then. He said he wanted to take care of me, that I deserved to relax, focus on planning the wedding, starting our life together. I'd been flattered, touched, saw it as love. It was isolation, cutting me off from my identity, my income, my independence. By our first anniversary, I had no job. No friends Derek hadn't approved. No money of my own. Everything was joint accounts, joint credit cards, all in his name. For simplicity, he'd said. For control, I now knew. Year 2, the first slap, I'd mentioned maybe going back to work. Part-time, something to keep my mind busy. He'd exploded, called me ungrateful, selfish, said I was abandoning him, then slapped me, open palm across my face. I'd stood there, shocked, hand to my cheek, staring. He'd cried, apologized, blamed stress, work pressure, promised it would never happen again. It happened again, and again, and again. By year 3, I'd stopped mentioning work, stopped mentioning anything that might upset him, walked on eggshells, managed his moods, became smaller, quieter, invisible. Year 4, I asked about divorce. Once, just once. In a moment of clarity, he'd been cruel that morning. Called me worthless, fat, ugly. Said no one else would ever want me. I'd whispered it, almost to myself. Maybe we should separate. The beating that followed put me in bed for a week. Bruised ribs, black eye, split lip. He told his mother I'd fallen down the stairs. She'd believed him, or pretended to. After that, I never mentioned divorce again. Just survived, day by day, telling myself it would get better, telling myself I deserved it, telling myself I had nowhere to go. All lies. Year 5, the pregnancy, unplanned. We'd been careful, but nothing is foolproof. When I saw the positive test, I'd been terrified. Not of motherhood, of Derek, of bringing a child into this nightmare. I'd considered abortion. Seriously considered it. Not because I didn't want the baby, but because I couldn't protect her, couldn't even protect myself. But something in me rebelled. Some last spark of defiance. This was my daughter, mine. Derek couldn't take her from me. I was wrong about that too. When I told him, he'd raged, called me a liar, accused me of trapping him, said I'd done it on purpose, to keep him from leaving, from finding someone better. Then he'd calmed down, gotten calculating, started being sweet, attentive, brought home baby books, talked about names, nursery colors. I'd let myself hope, thought maybe the baby would change things, thought maybe he'd love me again, love us. Yesterday morning proved how wrong I was. Christmas morning. Barbara was coming for breakfast. Derek had been tense all week. Gambling debts, I found out later. $50,000, money he didn't have, money he'd taken from our accounts, money I didn't know about. I'd made breakfast, perfect bacon, fluffy pancakes, fresh orange juice, everything Barbara liked, set the table beautifully, hid my bruises with makeup and a high-neck sweater. Barbara had been pleasant, brought gifts, too many gifts. She always did that. Overcompensated for her son's cruelty with expensive presents. The baby announcement came naturally. Barbara had asked when we'd know the sex. I'd said we were keeping it a surprise. She'd been delighted, started planning a gender reveal party. Derek had smiled, played the excited father, his hand on my belly, possessive, performative. After Barbara left, everything changed. He'd turned on me, face red with fury, voice low and vicious. You did this on purpose. Trapped me. Now I'm stuck with you forever. Derek, please. I'd back toward the living room, away from him. The baby didn't trap you. We're married. We're family. Family. He laughed. Bitter, cruel. You think this is family? You think I want this? Want you? He'd grabbed my shoulders, shook me, hard enough that my teeth rattled. I have nothing because of you, nothing, do you understand? 50,000 in debt, collection agencies calling, all because you wouldn't let me leave. I never stopped you, I said. True, so true. You can leave anytime. Not with a baby on the way, not without looking like the villain. His fingers dug into my arms. Would leave bruises. Always did. But there's a solution. Ice filled my veins. What solution? He'd smiled, the worst smile I'd ever seen. If something happened to you, an accident, the stress of pregnancy, depression, if you jumped. I tried to pull away, couldn't. He was too strong. Derek, stop. You're scaring me. Good. He dragged me toward the balcony. You should be scared. You ruined my life, but I can fix it. Insurance money, freedom, a fresh start. The balcony door, open, cold December air, 5 stories down to the street below, Christmas lights everywhere, on balconies, in windows, trees visible through curtains, families celebrating, safe, warm, everything I'd never have. Derek, please, the baby. The baby I never wanted. His hands moved to my shoulders, positioned me at the railing. Goodbye, Claire. Thanks for nothing. The push came fast, sudden. I grabbed for him, for the railing, for anything, caught nothing but air. The lights blurred, red and green streaks, time stretched and compressed. 5 stories felt like forever in an instant. My last thought before impact. My baby, I'm sorry. The landing, John's car, the crumple of metal, the airbag deploying, people screaming, running, calling 911. I looked up, saw Derek on the balcony. He'd looked down. Our eyes met. Then he'd gone inside, closed the door, left me there. If John's car hadn't been there, if I'd hit pavement instead, I would have died. Both of us would have died. Fate, luck, divine intervention. Whatever it was, it saved us. Mrs. Hoffman, a voice pulled me from the memory. A nurse, different one, night shift. You were crying. Are you in pain? I touched my face. Wet. I'd been crying. Didn't even notice. No, I said, just remembering. Sometimes memories hurt worse than broken bones, she said. Kind, understanding. She'd probably seen cases like mine before. Do you want something to help you sleep? Yes, please. She left. Returned with a small cup. Pills inside. I took them, chased them with water. Your baby's heartbeat is strong, the nurse said. She checked the fetal monitor. She's doing great. She? Just a guess, the nurse smiled. But I'm usually right. Get some rest. Tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow, Derek would probably be arrested tomorrow. Marcus had said so. The police would come, take him away. He'd be in jail. Couldn't hurt me there. But then there'd be bail, lawyers, his mother's money. He wouldn't stay locked up long. Men like Derek never did. I was terrified, exhausted, broken, but also, for the first time in 5 years, I was telling the truth, fighting back, refusing to protect him. That had to count for something. The medication kicked in. Sleep pulled at me. Heavy, warm. I let it take me under. No dreams, just darkness. Blessed, peaceful, safe. Morning came with Detective Campbell. She arrived early, before breakfast, brought coffee and bagels. Set them on my rolling table like an offering. Figured hospital food isn't great, she said. She pulled up a chair, opened a file folder. I have updates, good ones. I struggled to sit up. My ribs protested. The nurse helped, adjusted my bed. Detective Campbell waited, patient, professional. We got the security footage, she said, turned her laptop to face me. Your neighbor was cooperative. This is from Christmas morning. Do you want to see it? My stomach turned. No, I lived it. I don't need to watch it. I understand. She closed the laptop. But you should know, it's clear, very clear. Derek pushing you, no ambiguity. The district attorney will have no problem pressing charges. Relief hit like a wave. So he'll be arrested? Already done. Detective Campbell checked her notes. 6 this morning at his mother's house. He's being processed now. Arraignment is this afternoon. Bail hearing probably tomorrow. 6 hours ago, while I'd been sleeping. Derek had been arrested, in handcuffs, taken away. What did he say? I asked. The usual. Detective Campbell's expression hardened. That you're lying. Pregnancy hormones, mental instability. He even suggested you jumped. That it was a suicide attempt. Ice filled me. People will believe him. People saw the footage. His hand on your back. The push. You grabbing for the railing. Falling. There's no ambiguity. She paused. But he did call you multiple times. Did you answer? No, Megan turned off my phone. Good. The detective pulled out an evidence bag. My phone inside. We need this for the texts, call records, everything. We'll get you a new one, new number. He won't have it. A new number, a new phone, small things. But they felt enormous. No more monitoring his calls. No more checking my phone obsessively. Lock, unlock, lock. That pattern could finally end. There's more, Detective Campbell continued. We executed a warrant on your apartment, searched it thoroughly, found some interesting things. She pulled out photos, printed from the search. Derek's laptop, bank statements, credit card bills. 50,000 in gambling debts, she said. Mostly online poker, high-stakes sports betting. He cleaned out your joint accounts, maxed out 3 credit cards. All in your name. My name. I'd signed for them. Trusted him. Never checked. Never questioned. I didn't know. We figured. More photos. We also found this. Life insurance policy. On you. $500,000. Doubled to $1 million if you died in an accident. The room spun. What? He took it out 6 months ago, right after you got pregnant. Paid the premiums from your joint account. You never saw the statements because he had them sent to his office. 6 months ago, when he'd gotten sweet, attentive, buying baby books, talking about the nursery. He'd been planning this, planning my death, planning to collect. We also found text, Detective Campbell said gently, between Derek and another woman. Tiffany Morrison, administrative assistant at his real estate office. They've been having an affair for 2 years. 2 years, half our marriage. While I'd been isolated, controlled, abused, he'd been with someone else. The texts are enlightening, the detective continued. He told her you were separated, living apart. That divorce was imminent. He promised her the insurance money. Said they'd start a new life together. I couldn't speak, couldn't process. The scope of his betrayal kept expanding. Every revelation worse than the last. Detective Campbell showed me a printed text. Derek to Tiffany, Christmas Eve. Problem solved tonight. Tomorrow we're free. Tomorrow, Christmas. The day he pushed me. The day he tried to kill me. This is premeditated, Detective Campbell said. Not a crime of passion. Not a moment of rage. He planned this probably for months. That changes everything legally. First-degree attempted murder. Fraud. Insurance fraud. He's looking at serious time. He'll make bail, I said, voice flat, empty. His mother has money. Probably, the detective agreed, but we'll argue for high bail. Flight risk, danger to you. Judge might agree, might not. She closed her file. Either way, you need protection. Hospital security is good. But after you're discharged, where will you go? Nowhere. The apartment was Derek's. My name wasn't on the lease. I had no money, no guamam, no family nearby. Megan's apartment was a studio, no room for me and a baby. I don't know, I admitted. A knock at the door. John entered. Marcus behind him. Both looked grim. You heard, John said. Not a question. Yes, I replied. Marcus moved to the foot of my bed. The DA called. They're charging Derek with attempted first-degree murder, assault, fraud. He's facing 25 to life if convicted. 25 to life. Derek in prison, where he belonged. But first, a trial. Months of waiting, months of fear, months of him being out there free, angry, dangerous. What about bail, I asked. Hearing is tomorrow, Marcus said. We'll be there, arguing against it. But realistically, he'll probably get bail. It'll be high, maybe $500,000, but his mother will pay it. Barbara, of course. She'd mortgage her house, drain her retirement, whatever it took to protect her son, even if he tried to murder his pregnant wife. Claire, Ken, John spoke carefully. After you're discharged, you can't go back to the apartment. It's not safe, even with police protection. I know, I said, but I have nowhere else. John exchanged a look with Marcus. I have a property, guest house on my estate in Westchester. Separate entrance, full security system, private, safe. You and the baby could stay there, temporarily, until you figure things out. Pride wanted to refuse, wanted to say I'd manage, find my own way, not depend on him. Again, survival said swallow your pride. Your daughter's life is at stake. I can't pay you, I said. I have nothing. I'm not asking for payment, Ranjan replied. I'm offering safety, a place to recover. That's all. Wait, the question burst out again. Why are you doing this? You don't owe me anything. John's jaw tightened. Because it's the right thing to do, because you need help, because I can provide it. That's enough. It should have been, but the guilt ate at me, taking from him, again, after everything. I'll pay you back, I said. Eventually, when I'm working again, when I have money, I'll pay every cent. Fine, John agreed, easy, like it didn't matter. Now can we stop arguing about money and focus on keeping you safe? Marcus cleared his throat. There's one more thing. Dr. Reynolds says the fall caused some complications. Placental issues, They want to induce labor in 2 weeks, maybe sooner if there are problems. 2 weeks. My daughter would be born in 2 weeks. 5 weeks early, premature, but viable, safe, if we made it 2 weeks. Derek won't come here, Detective Campbell told. Security is too tight, but after discharge, after bail, he'll try to contact you. Through his mother, through friends, through Tiffany maybe. Don't engage, don't respond, don't give him any opening. I won't, I promised. My new phone rang. The one Detective Campbell had given me. Only 3 people had the number. The detective, Megan, the hospital. Megan's name flashed on the screen. I answered. Hey, Claire. Her voice cracked. Turn on the news. Channel 4. Now. John grabbed the TV remote, found the channel. A reporter stood outside Derek's mother's house. Barbara stood on the porch. Cameras everywhere. My son is innocent, Barbara said. Voice strong, clear, performative. This is a tragic misunderstanding. My daughter-in-law is unstable. Pregnancy hormones, depression. She jumped. Derek tried to save her. He's the victim here. The reporter asked questions. Barbara answered, spinning a narrative. Poor Derek, devoted husband, devastated by his wife's mental breakdown, supporting her despite her illness. Lies, oh, lies, but convincing, polished, sympathetic. This woman is a gold digger, Barbara continued. She saw an opportunity when she landed on that car, a billionaire's car. Now she's trying to destroy my son to get money. The screen cut to John. Old photos, headlines about his tech company, his wealth, his eligible bachelor status before me. The implication was clear. I'd orchestrated everything. The fall, the story, to get to John, to get his money. Turn it off, I said, voice shaking. Please. John turned it off, set down the remote. Don't listen to her. No one who matters will believe that. Everyone will believe it, I said. It's a good story, better than the truth. I left you for Derek. Now Derek abuses me. I land on your car. You rescue me. It sounds fake, convenient. It sounds like fate, Marcus said. And we have evidence? Video footage, medical records, financial records, text messages. Her press conference means nothing. It means everything, I countered. Public opinion, the jury pool. She's poisoning the well before trial even starts. Detective Campbell stood. Then we release the footage. Show the public what really happened. Derek pushing you, clear as day. Will that help, I asked. It'll destroy his narrative, the detective replied. But it'll also destroy your privacy. Everyone will see your face, your pain, the moment of trauma. Are you okay with that? No, God, no. I didn't want the world to see my worst moment, my terror, my helplessness. But I wanted justice more. Do it, I said. Release the footage. Show them what he did. Marcus nodded. I'll coordinate with the DA's office. It'll be on every channel by tonight. Good, John said. He looked at me. This gets worse before it gets better. You know that, right? I knew. The trial, the media, Derek's lies, Barbara's attacks, Tiffany probably telling her Saudbun, the other woman. Innocent victim of my instability, all of it ahead, months of it, maybe years, but on the other side. Safety, freedom, a life with my daughter, away from Derek, away from fear. I can handle it, I said, tried to believe it. Dr. Reynolds entered, looked at the crowd in my room. I'm kicking everyone out. My patient needs rest, and I need to examine her. They left. John lingered. I meant what I said about the guest house, about helping. You're not alone in this. Thank you, I managed. He left. Dr. Reynolds examined me, checked the baby's heartbeat, did an ultrasound, silent, focused, finally spoke. The baby is showing signs of stress, she said. Not critical, but concerning. The placenta is functioning at about 70%. If it drops lower, we'll need to deliver immediately. How long do I have? I asked. 2 weeks, maybe less. She met my eyes. Claire, your body has been through tremendous trauma, physical and emotional. It's affecting the pregnancy. You need to stay calm, rest, no stress. No stress. With Derek being arrested, bailed out, his mother on TV, a trial looming. My life in pieces. Sure. No stress. I'll try, I lied. Dr. Reynolds saw through it. I know that's impossible, but do your best. For her. She's fighting. You need to fight too. I would. God help me. I would. Later that night, the footage aired. Every channel, every website, the video went viral. Me on the balcony, Derek behind me, his hands on my back, my face turning. Terror clear, his push, my arms reaching, grabbing for the railing, catching nothing. The fall, 5 stories, straight down, the impact on John's car, the metal crumpling, the airbag deploying, people running, calling for help, Derek looking down, then disappearing inside. The internet exploded. Support poured in. So did hate. People blamed me. Questioned me. Accused me of lies. Others believed. Defended. Argued. I turned it all off. Put the phone down. Face down. No more checking. My daughter moved. A kick. Strong. Insistent. She was still here. Still fighting. We're going to be okay, I whispered. Hoped. Prayed. We have to be. Because the alternative was unthinkable. 3 a.m. The hospital was quiet. Only machines beeping. Soft footsteps in the hallway. I couldn't sleep. Pain medication could only do so much. My mind wouldn't stop. Churning through everything. Derek arrested. The footage released. Barbara's lies. The trial ahead. My laptop sat on the rolling table. Megan had brought it from the apartment. I opened it, hesitated, then typed. Domestic violence shelters near me. The screen filled with results. Phone numbers, addresses, stories. So many stories. Women like me. Women who'd stayed too long. Believed too many lies. Made too many excuses. I read. Absorbed. Saw my own story reflected back. Different details. Same pattern. Isolation. Control. Escalation. Violence. I'm a statistic. How did I become a statistic? Claire Hoffman, marketing executive, college educated, smart, successful. How did she end up here? In a hospital bed, pregnant, broken, barely alive. The answer stared back from every story. It happened slowly, so slowly you don't notice. One small compromise, one tiny boundary crossed, one moment of excusing the inexcusable, until one day you wake up and you don't recognize yourself, don't recognize your life, don't know how you got here. I closed the laptop, stared at the ceiling. The fluorescent light hummed, steady, hypnotic. My phone buzzed. New number. But someone had it. Text from Megan. Saw the news. Barbara's a monster. Don't read the comments. Get some sleep. Good advice. I wouldn't follow it. I opened social media. My old accounts. The ones I'd abandoned when Derek isolated me. Notifications everywhere. Messages. Tags. Comments. Most supportive. Outraged on my behalf. Calling Derek a monster. Demanding justice. Some cruel. Blaming me. Questioning why I stayed. Calling me weak. Stupid. A liar. A gold digger. The comments cut. Deep. Vicious. Anonymous cruelty. People who'd never met me. Never lived my life. Judging. Condemning. One comment stood out. A woman's profile. Her words. I stayed for 8 years. 3 kids. He broke my arm twice. My jaw once. Gave me a concussion that left permanent damage. I finally left when he threatened my daughter. Everyone asked why I stayed so long. No one asked why he kept hurting me. Proud of you, Claire. For surviving. For speaking up. You're braver than you know. Tears came. Hot. Fast. I wasn't alone. I'd never been alone. Millions of women, same story, different details. A sound outside my door. I froze. Listened. Just a nurse passing by. Not Derek. He was in jail. Couldn't reach me here. But he wouldn't stay in jail. Marcus had been clear. Bail hearing today. Barbara would pay. Derek would be out. Maybe wearing an ankle monitor. Maybe with a restraining order. But out. Free. Angry. I was so tired. Exhausted. Down to my bones. 5 years of walking on eggshells, managing moods, surviving. It had drained everything from me. The baby kicked, strong, insistent, a reminder. I wasn't just surviving for myself anymore. I had her. She needed me strong, needed me safe. I would be, somehow. Morning came with breakfast. Hospital food, bland, institutional. I forced myself to eat. For the baby. She needed nutrients, needed me healthy. Dr. Reynolds came for rounds, checked my vitals, did another ultrasound, frowned at the screen. What? I asked, heart pounding. Placental function is down to 60%, she said. Gentle, professional, hiding concern. Not critical yet, but trending wrong. We're moving up the delivery date, 1 week from today. 1 week, not 2, 7 days. Is she okay? My hand went to my belly. She's okay for now, but we can't wait much longer. At 32 weeks, she's viable. Preemie but viable. The NICU is excellent here. She'll get the best care. 32 weeks, 5 weeks early. So tiny, so vulnerable. This is my fault, I whispered. The stress, the trauma. I did this to her. Dr. Reynolds sat on the edge of the bed, took my hand. No, Derek did this. He threw you off a balcony. He created this situation. You're doing everything right, surviving, fighting. That's what she needs. Maybe, but guilt ate at me anyway. My choices, my staying, my not leaving sooner. All of it led here. A knock at the door. Marcus entered, John behind him. Both looked exhausted, like they'd been up all night. Bail hearing was this morning, Marcus said. No preamble, no softening. Derek made bail, $500,000. His mother put up her house. I'd known this was coming, but hearing it, knowing he was out there, free, it hit different. Where is he? I asked. Ankle monitor, restraining order, can't come within 500 feet of you, can't contact you directly. Violation means jail. Marcus paused, but he's at his mother's house. Free otherwise. Free. While I was trapped, in this hospital. Then in John's guest house, prisoner of my own fear. There's more, John said. His voice had an edge. Dangerous. Barbara held another press conference this morning. Brought Tiffany, the other woman. I closed my eyes. Of course. Parade the mistress. Make me the villain. What did she say? I asked. Didn't want to know. Had to know. John pulled out his phone, showed me the video. Tiffany stood next to Barbara. Young, pretty, 29 according to Detective Campbell. She wore a conservative dress, hair pulled back, looked innocent, wronged. I didn't know Claire existed, Tiffany said. Tears in her eyes, real or performed. Impossible to tell. Derek told me he was divorced, separated for 2 years. He showed me papers. Seemed legitimate. Lies. All lies. We'd lived together, shared a bed, shared a life. He'd been with her for 2 years, sneaking around, lying to both of us. When I found out about the pregnancy, I was devastated, Tiffany continued. But Derek said it was complicated, that Claire had mental health issues, that he was trying to protect me from her instability. More lies, painting me as crazy, dangerous, the narrative Barbara had started. Tiffany reinforced. I'm so sorry, Tiffany said, looking directly at the camera, at me. I never wanted to hurt anyone. I was deceived. We all were. Derek is the real victim here. I turned away, couldn't watch. The manipulation, the gaslighting, even from a distance, even through a screen. People are eating it up, John said, angry, controlled fury. Comments are split. Half believe you, half believe her. It's a mess. What do we do? I asked. Nothing, Marcus replied. Don't engage, don't respond. Let the evidence speak. The trial will show the truth. The trial. Months away, maybe a year. Meanwhile, Derek free, Barbara spinning stories, Tiffany playing victim, me trapped, waiting. I need to see the apartment, I said suddenly. Get my things before Derek does. Absolutely not, John said. Too dangerous. It's my home, I countered. Weak argument. It had never felt like home. My clothes, my documents. Everything I own is there. We'll send someone, Marcus said. Make a list. They'll pack it up, bring it to you. A list, itemizing my life, everything I owned, everything Derek hadn't destroyed or controlled. It wouldn't be much. That afternoon, Megan came, brought more clothes, some books, photos from my apartment. She'd gone with Marcus's assistant, packed what I'd asked for. He was there, Megan said, sitting in the chair by my bed, voice tight. Derek, he came while we were packing, ankle monitor beeping, his mother with him. My chest tightened. What happened? He demanded we leave, said it was his apartment, his things. We showed him the police authorization. Marcus on speakerphone. He backed off. But Claire, she took my hand. The hate in his eyes, the rage, he's dangerous, more dangerous than before. I'd known this, but hearing it, seeing Megan scared, it made it real. Did he say anything? I asked. He said you'd regret this, that you'd have nothing, that he'd make sure of it. Megan's voice shook. His mother laughed, said you deserved it, that you were a liar and a whore. Barbara, of course, defending her son, attacking me, the pattern I'd seen for 5 years. Always his side, never mine. I'm sorry you had to deal with that, I said. Don't apologize, Megan replied, fierce. You have nothing to apologize for. He's the monster. She's the enabler. You're the survivor. Survivor, the word felt too big, too meaningful. I was just trying to get through each day, each hour, each moment. Was that surviving? Maybe it was. John wants to talk to you, Megan said. Change the subject. He's waiting outside, said it's important. Send him in. John entered, closed the door behind him, pulled the chair close to the bed, sat, looked at me, really looked. We need to talk, he said, about 5 years ago, about why you left, the real reason. My heart hammered. John, now isn't the time. It's exactly the time, he replied, because I need you to understand something. I need you to stop carrying guilt about the past, about leaving me, about choosing Derek. I made the biggest mistake of my life, I said. Raw, honest. I left the best man I ever knew for a monster. How do I not feel guilty about that? Because you were scared, John said, gentle, understanding. I intimidated you, my world, my wealth, my expectations, even though I never meant to, even though I just wanted you. You never cared about my background, I whispered. My education, my family's money, I know that now. But then I felt so inadequate, so out of place. I know, John said, and I should have seen it, should have addressed it, made you feel secure, but I didn't. I just assumed you knew, that you felt what I felt. I did feel it, I admitted, but I was also terrified of losing you, of you realizing I wasn't enough. Better to end it on my terms than wait for you to leave. I never would have left, John said, voice breaking slightly. I loved you, completely, wholly. I've dated a dozen women since you. None of them were you. None of them made me feel what you did. The words destroyed something in me. Some last wall I'd built, some last defense. I'm sorry, I sobbed. I'm so sorry for leaving, for not trusting you, for choosing Derek, for all of it. John moved to the bed, sat on the edge, pulled me into his arms, careful of my injuries, gentle, safe. Stop apologizing, he murmured. You made the choice that felt right at the time. Maybe you needed to learn something. Figure something out. I don't know. But you're here now, alive, fighting. That's what matters. I cried into his shoulder. 5 years of grief, 5 years of regret, 5 years of wishing I'd chosen differently. When the tears slowed, John pulled back, looked at me. I forgave you a long time ago. Forgive yourself too. How? I asked. How do I forgive myself for bringing a baby into this nightmare? You didn't bring her into a nightmare, John said. You brought her into a situation. One you're handling, one you're fighting through. She's going to be born into safety, into love, into a mother who's strong enough to leave, strong enough to tell the truth. That's not a nightmare. That's hope. Hope, such a small word, such a big concept. Starting over feels impossible, I whispered, but staying feels worse. So you start over, John said simply. One day at a time, 1 hour at a time, one moment at a time. You've already started, you're already doing it. Maybe I was. Maybe surviving was starting over. Maybe just breathing was enough. John stood. Get some rest. Tomorrow we'll talk about the guest house. Moving you there after discharge. Making you safe. He walked to the door. Stopped. Looked back. For what it's worth, he said, you're the strongest person I know. You always were. You just forgot for a while. Then he left. I sat in the bed. Alone. The room quiet except for machines. The baby kicked. Strong, determined, fighter like her mother. Maybe John was right. Maybe I was strong. Maybe I just needed to remember. My phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. You'll regret this. You'll have nothing. I'll make sure of that, Derek. Somehow he'd gotten my new number. Somehow he'd found a way. My hands shook. I showed the nurse. She called security. They called Detective Campbell. Within an hour, the detective was there. Taking the phone, documenting the text, preparing a violation report. This is a restraining order violation, Detective Campbell said. He can't contact you. This goes to the judge. Could revoke his bail. Could, not would, might, maybe. All the uncertainties of the justice system. He knows where I am, I said. He knows I'm here. He knows I'm vulnerable. Hospital security is excellent, the detective replied. He won't get near you, and tomorrow you're being moved. John's guest house, different location, more secure. He won't know where you are. Tomorrow, one more day, 24 hours. I could do that. I had to do that. For my daughter, for myself, for the life I was fighting to build. Starting over felt impossible, but staying was death. So I'd start over, one breath at a time. The contractions started at 2 a.m. Not strong, just tightening, uncomfortable, regular enough to be concerning. I called the nurse. She called Dr. Reynolds. Within 20 minutes, I was surrounded by medical staff. Braxton Hicks or real labor? I asked, trying to stay calm, failing. Dr. Reynolds examined me, silent, focused, finally spoke. Real labor, but very early stages. We're going to stop it if we can, buy you more time. Medication through the IV, something to relax the uterus, stop the contractions, keep my daughter inside where she was safer. The medication worked. The contractions slowed, stopped, crisis averted. For now. This is a warning, Dr. Reynolds said. Your body is trying to deliver the stress, the trauma. It's too... We need to deliver soon, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, but soon. Tomorrow, my daughter would be born tomorrow. Maybe. 32 weeks, so early, so small. Is she ready? I asked. As ready as she'll be, the doctor replied. The NICU is standing by. We'll do everything possible to ensure she's healthy. Everything possible. Such vague words, such uncertain promises. After the medical staff left, I couldn't sleep, lay in the dark. Hand on my belly, feeling her move, still fighting, still here. My phone buzzed. Text from Megan. Heard about the contractions. I'm coming. No, stay home. I'm fine. A lie, I wasn't fine, but Megan had done enough, sacrificed enough. I couldn't keep taking from everyone. Another text, this one from John. Moving you today, not tomorrow. Guest house is ready, security in place. Pack your things. Today, relief mixed with fear, leaving the hospital, going somewhere new. Somewhere Derek didn't know about. Starting over. Again. Morning came with breakfast and Marcus. He carried a briefcase and bad news. I could tell by his expression. Derek violated the restraining order, Marcus said. No preamble. The text last night. Judge reviewed it, issued a warning, but didn't revoke bail. Why not? Anger flared. Hot. Sharp. He's dangerous. He tried to kill me. Now he's threatening me. Isn't that enough? Apparently not, Marcus replied. Frustrated, clearly disagreed with the ruling. Judge said it was one incident. One text, warning is sufficient. Next violation will result in jail time. Next violation, after he hurt me again, after he did something worse. Then maybe he'd face consequences. The justice system, built to protect abusers, fail victims. I was learning that lesson in real time. There's more, Marcus continued. His mother is funding his defense. Big firm, expensive lawyers. They're already filing motions. Character witnesses. Expert testimony about your mental state. My mental state. Of course. Paint me as crazy, unstable, unreliable. The classic defense. Can they do that, I asked. They can try, Marcus said. We'll fight every motion, but it's going to be ugly. They're going to dig into your past, your relationship with John, your marriage to Derek, everything. Everything. My whole life on trial, dissected, judged, condemned by people who'd never lived it. When? Asked them. Oh, about when? Like asked. Trial is set for 6 months from now, June. Preliminary hearings start next month. 6 months. Half a year of this, living in fear, waiting for Derek to violate again. Waiting for the justice system to maybe, possibly, protect me. I can handle it, I said. Tried to believe it. Marcus studied me. Can you? Really? Because it's going to get worse. Much worse. Before it gets better. What choice do I have? I countered. Give up? Let him win? Pretend he didn't try to kill me? No, Marcus agreed. You fight, but you need to be prepared for the attacks, the lies, the media circus, all of it. I'd watched enough trials, read enough articles. I knew what happened to women who accused powerful men, even when those men weren't actually powerful. Just entitled, connected, defended by enabling mothers and expensive lawyers. We became the villains, the liars, the gold diggers, the crazy women who couldn't be trusted. I'm prepared, I lied. Marcus left. John arrived. He'd brought boxes, moving supplies, a bag from a maternity store, comfortable clothes, soft fabrics, nothing Derek had touched. Ready to leave, he asked. More than ready. The discharge process took hours. Paperwork, instructions, prescriptions, appointments scheduled with my new obstetrician. One John had arranged, closer to Westchester, closer to the guest house, closer to safety. Megan arrived to help. She packed my things, the few belongings I had, clothes, books, photos. My whole life fit in 3 boxes. 5 years of marriage, compressed into 3 cardboard boxes. That's it? Megan asked, staring at the boxes. That's it, I confirmed. Derek didn't let me keep much, said possessions were clutter, distractions. Control. It had always been control, keeping me small, manageable, dependent, no more. The wheelchair was mandatory, hospital policy. John pushed me, Megan carried boxes, down the hallway, past the nurse's station. The staff who'd saved my life, protected me, believed me. Outside, the December air hit like a slap. Cold, sharp, real. I'd been inside for days, forgotten what real air felt like. John's car waited. Different car. Not the Mercedes I'd landed on. That one was evidence. Being held by police, analyzed. Documented. Proof of what Derek did. This car was an SUV. Black. Nondescript. Tinted windows. Secure. He helped me inside. Gentle. Careful. My body still hurt. Ribs. Pelvis. Everything. But I was healing. Slowly. Surely. Megan rode with us. She held my hand. Didn't speak. Didn't need to. Her presence was enough. Solid. Grounding. Real. The drive took 40 minutes. Out of the city. North through Westchester. Winding roads. Trees. Space. Quiet. So different from Brooklyn. From Derek's apartment. From the life I'd known. John's estate was understated. For a billionaire, the main house was visible from the road. Large. Colonial, beautiful, but not ostentatious, not showing off, just quality, quiet wealth. The guest house sat behind it, separate, private, small, maybe 800 square feet, but perfect, safe. John parked, helped me out. Megan grabbed boxes. We walked to the door. John unlocked it, stepped aside. Let me enter first. The interior was warm, cozy, furnished. Everything I needed. Living room, kitchenette, bedroom, bathroom, nursery. I stopped, stared at the nursery. White crib, changing table, rocking chair, soft yellow walls, neutral, gender neutral, perfect. I hope you don't mind, John said behind me, uncertain. I thought, after the baby comes, you'd need, if it's too much, I can remove it. I couldn't speak. Tears came. Again. Always crying, but these were different. Not pain, not grief, something else. Gratitude, hope, relief. It's perfect, I managed. Thank you. The security system is state-of-the-art, John continued. Professional, businesslike, easier than emotion. Cameras on every entrance, panic button by the bed, direct line to security, police, me, whatever you need. Thank you, I said again. Inadequate words, but all I had. Megan set down the boxes, looked around. This is nice, really nice. You'll be safe here. Safe, that word again. I wanted to believe it, wanted to feel it. But Derek was still out there, still free, still threatening. How could I ever feel safe again? I should go, Megan said. Hugged me, careful of my ribs. Call me, anytime, I'm 30 minutes away. Less if I speed. She left. John started to follow. I grabbed his arm, stopped him. Why did you really leave me? I asked. The question I should have asked 5 years ago, should have asked in the hospital, asked every day since. John turned, looked at me, really looked. Because you clearly didn't want to be with me anymore. You pulled away, shut down. I could feel you slipping through my fingers every day, a little more distant, a little more closed off. I was scared, I admitted, again. Needed him to hear it, understand it, of your world, of not being enough, of waking up one day and you realizing you'd made a mistake. I never cared about any of that, John said, intense, fervent. Your education, your family's money, your career, none of it mattered. I just cared about you, your laugh, your kindness, the way you saw the world, the way you made me feel like more than my bank account. The words broke me, shattered some last piece of denial. I dated a dozen women since you, John continued. Beautiful women, successful women, intelligent women. None of them were you. None of them made me feel what you did. I would have waited forever, if you'd just asked. I didn't know, I whispered. I thought, Derek said, he told me you were collecting me, like art, that the gifts were buying someone, that I was your charity case. John's expression darkened. Derek manipulated you from the start, saw your insecurity, exploited it, made you doubt yourself, doubt me. That's what abusers do. They isolate, they undermine. They make you believe you're nothing without them. I knew this now, had read it in those domestic violence websites. The pattern, the playbook. Derek had followed it perfectly. I'd been textbook. Classic case, predictable. I'm sorry, I said, for believing him, for leaving you, for all of it. Stop apologizing, John said, voice gentle, firm. You made the choice that felt right at the time. You survived. You got out. You're here now. That's what matters. Is it? I asked. Because I brought a baby into this nightmare. I stayed when I should have left. I protected him when I should have protected myself. How do I forgive that? You forgive it by moving forward, John replied, by being the mother your daughter needs, by building the life you deserve, by not letting Derek win. He already won, I said, bitter, defeated. He took 5 years, took my career, my confidence, my sense of self. What's left? John moved closer, cupped my face, made me look at him. Everything's left. You're alive. You're strong. You're fighting. You're leaving. That's winning. Not him. You. I wanted to believe him, wanted to feel that strength, that hope. But all I felt was broken, exhausted, empty. Get some rest, John said. Dropped his hands, stepped back. I'm in the main house, 5 minutes away. Call anytime, for anything. I mean it. He walked to the door, stopped, looked back. You asked why I'm helping, he said. The truth, because I never stopped loving you. Even when you left. Even when you married him. even when I tried to move on. Part of me always loved you. He left before I could respond, before I could process. The door closed, locked automatically. Security system armed. I was alone, in the guest house, safe, protected, terrified. I walked to the nursery, stood in the doorway, stared at the empty crib. Soon my daughter would sleep there. Soon I'd rock her in that chair. Soon I'd change her on that table. Soon I'd be a mother, responsible for another life, when I could barely keep myself together. The panic rose, sharp, suffocating. I couldn't protect her, couldn't even protect myself. What kind of mother would I be? The worst kind, the kind who brought her child into danger, into fear, into a world where her father tried to kill them both. I sank to the floor, back against the wall, knees to chest, careful of my ribs, of my belly, of the baby still fighting inside me. The sobs came, deep, wrenching, years of grief, years of fear, years of pretending I was okay when I was drowning. I cried until I couldn't breathe, until my ribs screamed, until the baby kicked in protest. Then I stopped, wiped my face, stood, walked to the bedroom, lay down, stared at the ceiling. My phone buzzed. Another text, unknown number. You think you're safe? You're not. I'm coming for you, Derek, again. Different number, same threat. I should call Detective Campbell, report the violation. But what was the point? The judge wouldn't care, would issue another warning, another slap on the wrist. The system wasn't built to protect me. It was built to protect him. I turned off the phone, put it face down, closed my eyes. Tomorrow I'd fight. Tomorrow I'd be strong. Tomorrow I'd face whatever came. Tonight I'd just survive, one breath at a time. That was enough. It had to be enough. The contractions woke me at dawn. Stronger this time, regular, painful, undeniable, labor, real labor. My daughter was coming, ready or not. I called John. He answered on the first ring. What's wrong? Labor, I said through gritted teeth. Another contraction. Me need. Hospital. 10 minutes, Michelle said. I'm coming. He made it in 5. Burst through the door, found me in the bedroom, breathing through contractions, timing them 6 minutes apart, then 5, then 4. Let's go, John said. Calm, focused. Helped me stand, grabbed my hospital bag, one I'd packed days ago, just in case. The drive was fast. Too fast. John broke every speed limit, called ahead, told them we were coming. They'd be ready. Emergency entrance, wheelchair waiting. Staff rushed me to labor and delivery. Dr. Reynolds met us there. She'd driven in from home, still in jeans and a sweater, but professional, ready. Let's have a baby, she said. The labor was fast, too fast. My body pushed my daughter out with urgency, like it knew she needed to be born, needed to be safe, needed to be away from me. 4 hours, that's all it took. 4 hours of contractions, pushing, pain, fear. Then she was here, tiny, pink, screaming, alive. It's a girl, Dr. Reynolds said. Unnecessary, I'd known, but hearing it, seeing her made it real. They put her on my chest, skin to skin, for 30 seconds, maybe. Then took her, rushed her to the NICU, too small, too early, needed help breathing, needed monitoring. I watched them take her, my arms empty, my chest aching. She'd been inside me for 7 months. Part of me, safe, protected. Now she was out, vulnerable, in danger, and I couldn't protect her. The recovery room was quiet. John sat in the corner, respectful distance. He hadn't left. Not once, stayed through the whole labor, in the waiting room, available if I needed him. Do you want to name her? He asked. Gentle, careful. I'd thought about names for months, before Derek pushed me, before everything fell apart. Evelyn, I said. Evelyn Hope. Hope was your mother's name, right? John's eyes filled. Yes, she passed 2 years ago. She would have loved that. Evelyn Hope, I repeated. Tested it. Felt right. My daughter, Evelyn Hope Hoffman. For now, Hoffman, Derek's name, but not forever. I'd change it, eventually when I could, when I was free. Can I see her? I asked Dr. Reynolds. Soon, she promised. They're stabilizing her, getting her settled in the NICU. Maybe an hour. Then you can visit. An hour felt like forever, but I waited. What choice did I have? Megan arrived, brought flowers, balloons, smiled through tears. Congratulations. How do you feel? Empty, I admitted. Terrified, guilty. Why guilty? Megan asked. Because she's in the NICU. Because she was born early. Because of Derek. Because of me. No, Megan said, firm, sharp. Because of Derek, only Derek. You survived. You protected her as long as you could. She's here, alive. That's because of you. Maybe, but the guilt remained. Sat heavy in my chest, suffocating. The hour passed, a nurse came, wheelchair to take me to the NICU. John and Megan stayed behind. This moment was mine. Just mine. The NICU was bright, clean, full of beeping machines, tiny babies in plastic boxes, wires everywhere, tubes, monitors. Evelyn was in the back corner. Isolette, incubator, whatever they called it. She lay on her back, arms stretched above her head, eyes closed, a feeding tube in her nose. Monitors on her chest, 4 pounds, 2 ounces, 17 inches long. So tiny, so perfect, so fragile. You can touch her, the nurse said. Open the portholes. Let me put my hands inside. I touched her. Skin like silk, warm, real. Her hand wrapped around my finger, held tight. Fighter, like her mother. I'm sorry, I whispered. I'm so sorry I brought you into this, but I promise. I'll keep you safe. I'll protect you. I'll never let anyone hurt you. Empty promises. How could I keep her safe when I couldn't keep myself safe? When Derek was out there, free, threatening? But I'd figure it out. I had to figure it out. She needed me. No one else. Just me. She's beautiful, a voice said behind me. John, he'd followed, stood at a distance, respectful. Can I see her, I nodded. He moved closer, looked into the isolaton. His expression softened, transformed, something I'd never seen before. Hello, Evelyn Hope, he murmured. Welcome to the world. It's complicated out here, but you've got a strong mother. She'll make sure you're okay. Would I? Could I? The doubt ate at me. Constant, suffocating. I stayed in the NICU as long as they let me. Hours. Until a nurse gently suggested I rest, recover. My body had been through trauma. Birth needed to heal. Reluctantly, I returned to my room. Lay in the bed, stared at the ceiling, my arms empty, my body hollow, my daughter somewhere else, fighting, without me. That night, Derek violated the restraining order again, showed up at the hospital, demanded to see his daughter. Security stopped him. Police were called. He was arrested, taken to jail. This time, the judge revoked bail. Derek would stay in jail until trial. No exceptions, no second chances. Relief flooded me. He couldn't reach me, couldn't hurt me, couldn't threaten Evelyn. We were safe, finally, truly safe, but the fear remained, deep, ingrained. 5 years of fear doesn't disappear with one arrest. Detective Campbell came the next morning. Took my statement about the texts, the threats, everything. Built the case stronger, tighter, undeniable. He's going away for a long time, she said. Certain, confident. 25 years, minimum, maybe more. 25 years. Evelyn would be an adult, 26 years old, before he got out, before he could hurt us, if he got convicted, if the jury believed me, if justice actually happened. So many ifs. Thank you, I said. Meant it. For everything, for believing me, for fighting for me, for making me feel heard. The detective left. Marcus arrived. More paperwork, more legal strategy. The trial, the defense's tactics, our response, all of it necessary, all of it exhausting. There's something you should know, Marcus said. Hesitant, uncomfortable. We've been going through Derek's computer, his files. We found something. Ice filled my veins. What? He pulled out papers, legal documents. He drafted paperwork to have you committed to a psychiatric facility after Evelyn was born. He had a doctor lined up, one who'd sign off, say you were unstable, dangerous to yourself and the baby. I couldn't breathe. What? He was going to have you declared unfit, take custody of Evelyn, claim you were suicidal, psychotic. He had it all planned, down to the facility, the medications, everything. He was going to steal my daughter, take her, raise her, tell her lies about me, about my mental state, my unfitness. She would have grown up thinking her mother was crazy, dangerous, better off locked away. This changes everything, Marcus continued. Shows premeditation, planning, malicious intent. The DA is adding charges, conspiracy, fraud, attempted kidnapping. More charges, more years, more certainty of conviction. But none of it changed what he'd planned, what he'd intended, the level of evil required to do this. He never loved me, I said, voice flat, empty. Never. It was always about control, possession, destroying me. No, Marcus agreed. He didn't. But that says everything about him. Nothing about you. Maybe. But it still hurt. 5 years. Wasted. Given to a man who'd never cared. Who'd only wanted to own me. Break me. Discard me. I'd survived. But at what cost? That afternoon, I pumped breast milk. The rhythmic motion. Mechanical. Mindless. Providing for my daughter. The one thing I could do. The one way I could help her. In the quiet room. Just me and the machine. I thought about everything. The past, the present, the uncertain future. I'd thought leaving John for Derek was protecting myself, protecting my heart, avoiding inevitable heartbreak. Instead, I'd chosen the heartbreak. Chosen the man who would destroy me. Because fear made me stupid. Insecurity made me blind. I'd run from love, from safety, from a man who cared about me. For what? For Derek. For isolation. For abuse. For almost dying. The hardest part is admitting I knew all along. Deep down. Some part of me knew Derek was dangerous. Knew I should leave. Knew I was in danger. But I stayed. Made excuses. Believed lies. Hoped for change. Until almost losing everything. That knowledge, that self-awareness. It burned. Cut deeper than any of Derek's words. Any of his violence. Because it meant that I'd failed myself. Long before Derek pushed me off that balcony. The milk container filled. I labeled it, dated it, took it to the NICU. Nurse added it to Evelyn's supply. She'd get my milk, my antibodies, my protection, even when I couldn't be there. Small victories. That's what Dr. Reynolds had said. Focus on small victories. Evelyn breathing on her own. Small victory. Gaining weight. 2 ounces in 2 days. Small victory. Derek in jail. Big victory. But still felt small. Insufficient. Incomplete. That night, I couldn't sleep. Sat in wheelchair in NICU. Watched Evelyn through the plastic. Her chest rising, falling, tiny lungs working, heart beating, surviving. Like her mother, surviving. One breath at a time. A nurse came, young, kind, sat beside me. First time, mother? Yes, I replied. It gets easier, she said. The fear, the guilt, the worry, not gone, but easier. You learn to trust, to let go, to believe they're stronger than you think. Was Evelyn stronger? She'd survived the fall, survived being born early, survived everything Derek had done. Maybe she was strong. Maybe she'd inherited something good from me. Some fight, some resilience, some refusal to quit. I hope so. God, I hope so. Because the world was hard, cruel, dangerous. She'd need strength, need fight, need the ability to survive. I'd teach her, show her. By example, by living. By refusing to let Derek win. Starting now, starting today, one small victory at a time. Hospital discharge came 6 days later. Evelyn stayed, would stay for weeks, until she was stronger, bigger, able to regulate her temperature, able to feed without tubes. Leaving her was agony. Every instinct screamed to stay, to protect, to watch over her. But I had to heal, had to prepare, had to get ready for the fight ahead. John drove me back to the guest house, the same black SUV, same careful driving, same respectful silence. The guest house felt different, emptier. without the promise of Evelyn filling the nursery, without the hope of bringing her home. Just me, alone, recovering, waiting. Megan came every day, brought meals, helped with physical therapy, drove me to the NICU for visits twice a day, every day, no matter what. My body healed. Slowly, ribs knitted, pelvis strengthened, incision from the C-section closed, faded to pink, then white, a scar I'd carry forever. Reminder of what Derek did, what I survived. 3 weeks after Evelyn's birth, Marcus came with updates. The trial date was set, April, 4 months away, time to prepare, to gather evidence, to build the case. We met in John's main house, his office, large desk, uncomfortable chairs, professional, businesslike, easier than the guest house, easier than the hospital. Derek's defense is predictable, Marcus said. Laid out papers, strategy documents, mental instability, pregnancy hormones, suicidal ideation. You jumped. He tried to save you. The lies, the narrative Barbara had started, the story they'd tell over and over until people believed it. How do we fight that? I asked. Evidence, Marcus replied. Video footage showing him push you, medical records documenting abuse, text messages planning your death, financial records showing motive, character witnesses, expert testimony. Everything. Everything. My whole life dissected, analyzed, judged by 12 strangers, deciding if I was telling the truth, if I was worth believing. The defense will attack your credibility, Marcus continued. Matter of fact, preparing me. Your relationship with John, why you left him, why you married Derek, your employment history, mental health, past relationships, everything is fair game. Even things not relevant, I asked. Especially things not relevant, Marcus said. They'll try to paint you as unstable, manipulative, gold-digging, anything to make the jury doubt you. Doubt me, Puck, because that's what happened to women. We were doubted, questioned, blamed, even when evidence supported us, even when we were telling the truth. I can handle it, I said, tried to believe it. Can you, Madame? Marcus asked. Direct, no softening, because it's going to be brutal. They'll ask about your sex life, your finances, your relationship with John, your decision to stay with Derek, everything in open court, with cameras, with the world watching. The world watching, my pain, my trauma, my most private moments, public entertainment, spectacle. What choice do I have? I countered. Not testify, let Derek walk free. You could accept a plea deal, Marcus offered, if the DA offers one. Lesser charges, guaranteed conviction, shorter sentence, but certainty. No, I said, immediate, absolute. I want a trial. I want everyone to hear what he did. I want him to face consequences, real consequences. Marcus nodded, satisfied. Good. Then we prepare. Mock trial, practice questions, prepare you for cross-examination, make sure you're ready. We started immediately. Hours of preparation, Marcus asking questions, hard questions, invasive questions, questions designed to fluster me, trip me up, make me doubt myself. Why did you stay with Derek? I was scared. I had nowhere to go, no money, no job. He'd isolated me, controlled me. But you have a college degree, marketing experience. You could have gotten a job. I tried. He sabotaged every interview, called my references, told them I was unstable, unreliable. Why didn't you go to the police? I was afraid. He threatened me, said if I reported him, he'd kill me, make it look like suicide. I believed him. But you're here now, testifying. If you were so afraid, why come forward? Because he tried to kill me, kill our baby. I had no choice. Stay silent and die, or speak up and fight. The questions came, relentless, exhausting. Marcus didn't let up, didn't soften, prepared me for the worst. The defense would be crueler, more vicious, more personal. John sat in during some sessions, listened, took notes, provided feedback. His presence steadied me, grounded me, reminded me why I was fighting. After one particularly brutal session, John walked me back to the guest house. Quiet, thoughtful. "You're doing well," he said. "Better than most people would." "I don't feel like I'm doing well," I admitted. "I feel like I'm barely holding it together." "That's normal," John replied. "You've been through trauma, multiple traumas. Your brain is trying to process, heal. It takes time." Time. Everyone kept saying that. Time heals. Time helps. Time makes it better. But time also meant waiting, living in fear, wondering if Derek would somehow get out, somehow reach me, somehow finish what he started. "I'm scared," I whispered. "All the time. Even with him in jail. Even with security. I'm terrified." "I know," John said, gentle, understanding. "That's normal too. Fear is protective, keeps you alert, keeps you safe. But it also exhausts you. You need to find balance between vigilance and paranoia." Balance. How did I find balance when my world had been shattered, when nothing felt safe, when trust felt impossible? "How do I trust again?" I asked. "How do I believe people won't hurt me?" John stopped walking, turned to face me. "You start small. Trust one person about one thing. See what happens. Then expand, slowly, carefully. You don't have to trust everyone or everything, just enough to live." "Do you trust people?" I asked. "Some," John admitted. "The ones who've earned it, the ones who've shown up repeatedly, consistently. Trust isn't given, it's earned." "Have I earned your trust?" The question slipped out. Vulnerable, needy. John smiled, sad, warm. "You're earning it every day, by fighting, by showing up, by being honest. Trust isn't rebuilt overnight, but it's rebuilt, piece by piece." We reached the guest house. John waited while I unlocked the door, stepped inside. Safe, secure, alone. "Thank you," I said, "for everything. The house, the support, the preparation. I don't know how to repay you." "You don't need to repay me," John replied. "Just heal, get strong, win your case, that's enough." He left. I closed the door, armed the security system, checked the windows, the locks, the cameras, the routine I developed. Obsessive, necessary, protective. Then I sat in the nursery, rocking chair, looking at the empty crib, waiting for Evelyn, waiting for the trial, waiting for justice, waiting for my life to start. Again, finally, fully. That night at 2 a.m, I woke to my phone ringing. The NICU. Panic flooded me. "Hello? Mrs. Hoffman, this is Nurse Kelly from the NICU. Evelyn is fine, but we wanted to let you know. She's ready to come home. Tomorrow, if you're ready." Home. Evelyn was coming home. Healthy, strong, ready. "Yes," I said, voice breaking. "I'm ready. We're ready." "Wonderful. Come tomorrow morning. We'll do discharge paperwork. Go over care instructions. You'll take her home tomorrow afternoon." Tomorrow, my daughter, home, with me. Finally, I didn't sleep the rest of the night, cleaned the guest house, top to bottom, prepared the nursery, washed baby clothes, organized diapers, made everything perfect. Morning came. John drove me to the hospital. We picked up Evelyn. So small, 5 pounds now, gaining weight, thriving. The drive home was terrifying. Every bump, every turn, every car too close. I clutched Evelyn's car seat, protected her with my body, hyper-vigilant, paranoid. But we made it, safe, whole, together. The guest house became home, real home, with Evelyn in the nursery, with feedings every 3 hours, with diapers and laundry and exhaustion. Beautiful, perfect. Exhausting, terrifying. Megan helped, came every day, taught me, supported me. Let me cry when the overwhelm hit. Let me rage when the fear took over. John kept his distance, respectful, careful, visited occasionally, brought groceries, checked the security system, made sure we were safe, but didn't intrude, didn't push, didn't demand anything, just supported, quietly, consistently. 2 weeks before the trial, Derek violated the no-contact order again, or tried to. He called John's office, left a message, asking about Evelyn, wanting photos, claiming father's rights, the audacity, the entitlement, the absolute refusal to accept consequences. Detective Campbell was furious. He's in jail. How is he making calls? Jail phone, the detective said. Monitored, recorded, but allowed. He knows that. He's testing boundaries. Testing, always testing, seeing what he could get away with, how far he could push. Classic abuser behavior. Does this help our case? I asked Marcus. Absolutely, Marcus replied. Shows ongoing pattern. Refusal to respect boundaries. Obsession with control. The jury will see it. The jury, 12 people, strangers, who would hear Derek's voice, his manipulation, his threats, and decide, believe me or believe him. Terror and hope, mixed together, inseparable. 1 week before trial, Barbara tried to visit, showed up at the main house gates, demanded entry, security denied her. She threw a fit, called the police, claimed grandparents' rights. The police explained, no legal standing, not without custody, not without Derek's conviction. She couldn't force her way in. She left, screaming, threatening, promising she'd be back, that we'd regret this. That family stuck together. Family. She'd chosen Derek, defended Derek, enabled Derek, even after watching the video, seeing the evidence, knowing the truth. Some people couldn't see, refused to see, because seeing meant accepting, and accepting meant guilt, complicity, failure. Barbara would never accept, never see, never admit her son was a monster. Easier to blame me, attack me, maintain the illusion. The night before trial, I couldn't sleep. Lay in bed, Evelyn in the bassinet beside me, listening to her breathe. Steady, peaceful, unaware. Tomorrow my life would change. Again, for better or worse. The trial would decide. The jury would decide. Justice might happen, or might not. But regardless, I'd fought, testified, told my truth, refused to protect Derek, refused to stay silent. That had to count for something, and that had to matter. I hoped, prayed, believed desperately, frantically, necessarily, because hope was all I had left. The courthouse was enormous, imposing, all marble and columns and authority. People everywhere, lawyers, reporters, spectators, everyone wanting to see, to watch, to judge. Marcus walked beside me, John slightly behind. Security around us, protection from the cameras, the questions, the noise. Wow. Inside, the courtroom was smaller than I expected. Wood paneling, high ceilings, the judge's bench elevated, imposing. The jury box to the side, empty, waiting. Derek sat at the defense table, orange jumpsuit, handcuffs, his lawyers on either side, expensive suits, confident expressions, ready for battle. Our eyes met. He smirked, small, cruel, like he knew something I didn't, like he'd already won. I looked away, refused to engage, focused on Marcus, on breathing, on surviving the next few hours. Jury selection took 2 days. Question after question, weeding out bias, finding 12 people who could be impartial, who could listen, who could decide based on evidence. Finally, jury seated, 6 men, 6 women, range of ages, races, backgrounds, 12 strangers who held my future in their hands. Opening statements began. The prosecutor went first, laid out the case. Clear, methodical, devastating. The evidence will show that Derek Hoffman planned to murder his pregnant wife. He took out life insurance. He documented her supposed mental instability. He isolated her, controlled her, abused her, and on Christmas morning, he pushed her off a 5th-story balcony, hoping she would die, hoping he would collect, hoping to start over with his mistress. The prosecutor showed the video, the security footage, on a large screen for everyone to see. So, me on the balcony, Derek behind me, his hands on my back, the push, my arms reaching, falling, the impact. I couldn't watch, looked at my hands, at the table, at anything else. But I heard the gasps, the shocked silence, the murmurs, The defense's opening was different, smooth, sympathetic, manipulative. Claire Hoffman was depressed, suicidal, overwhelmed by pregnancy. She jumped. My client tried to save her, failed, and now she's trying to destroy him, to blame him for her own actions, to get revenge for an affair she discovered. Lies, all lies, but delivered with conviction, with authority. With the confidence of expensive lawyers, the trial began. Witness after witness, building the case. Piece by piece, Detective Campbell testified about the investigation, the evidence, the text, the insurance policy, the planning. Dr. Reynolds testified about my injuries, the pregnancy complications, the medical evidence consistent with assault. Marcus questioned, thorough, methodical, establishing facts, creating timeline, building narrative. The defense cross-examined, aggressive, attacking credibility, suggesting alternatives, planting doubt. 3 days in, my turn to testify. I walked to the stand, raised my right hand, swore to tell the truth, sat, faced the courtroom, faced Derek, faced the jury. Marcus stood, began questioning, gentle, supportive, walking me through my story. From meeting Derek, through the marriage, the abuse, the isolation, Christmas morning, the push. I told everything, every detail, every incident. 5 years compressed into 3 hours. My voice steady, clear, no apologies, no qualifications, just truth. The jury listened, some took notes, some watched Derek, some watched me, assessing, judging, deciding. Then came cross-examination. Derek's lawyer stood, smiled, predatory, prepared. Mrs. Hoffman, you claim my client abused you for 5 years, yet you never called the police, never filed a report, never sought help. Why not? I was afraid, I said. He threatened to kill me if I told anyone. I believed him. But you told your friend Megan, correct? Yes. And she didn't call the police either. Why not? I asked her not to. I wasn't ready. I thought I could handle it. Handle it by staying with him, by marrying him, by getting pregnant. I didn't get pregnant on purpose, and I stayed because he'd isolated me. I had no job, no money, no support system. He'd made sure of that. The lawyer paced, theatrical. You had a college degree, marketing experience. You could have gotten a job, left any time, but you chose to stay. I tried to leave multiple times. He'd find me, bring me back, threaten me. I stopped trying. It was safer to stay. Safer to stay with a man you claim was abusive. That seems contradictory. It's not contradictory when you understand abuse. Leaving is the most dangerous time, when women are most likely to be killed. I knew that. I was surviving, waiting for the right moment. And that moment came when you landed on your billionaire ex-boyfriend's car. Convenient. Objection from Marcus, sustained by the judge. But the implication lingered, poisoned the air. The questioning continued. Hours, relentless, exhausting, attacking every decision, every choice, every moment I'd stayed, every moment I hadn't fought back. You claim you were terrified of my client, yet you got pregnant, stayed pregnant. That doesn't sound like terror. I considered abortion, I admitted. Raw, honest, because I was terrified, but I couldn't do it. I wanted my daughter. I thought maybe Derek would change. Maybe the baby would change him. So you admit you stayed because you hoped he'd change, not because you were trapped, but because you chose to stay, chose to hope. I was trapped by hope, by fear, by financial dependence, by isolation. It's all the same trap. You don't understand unless you've lived it. I don't need to have lived it to see the facts. You stayed, you got pregnant, you landed on your ex-boyfriend's car. He immediately provided financial support, a place to live, legal representation, and now you're accusing my client of attempted murder to cover your own suicide attempt and reconnect with a wealthier man. That's not true, I said, voice shaking but firm. Derek pushed me. The video shows it. The evidence shows it. I'm telling the truth. Your truth, which conveniently aligns with financial benefit. Objection, Marcus said. Argumentative. Sustained. Move on, counsel. The defense lawyer smiled. No further questions. I stepped down, shaking, exhausted, violated. They'd twisted everything, made my survival look like calculation, made my fear look like manipulation. Would the jury believe me or believe him? I didn't know, couldn't know. That night I held Evelyn, rocked her, fed her, watched her sleep, innocent, unaware, perfect. I did my best, I whispered. I told the truth. That's all I can do. The next day, the defense called witnesses, Derek's co-workers, neighbors, people who'd seen our marriage from outside, who thought Derek was charming, devoted, wonderful. They hadn't seen the private Derek, the one who controlled, who raged, who hurt. They'd seen the mask, the performance, the lie. Barbara testified, defended her son, attacked me, called me unstable, manipulative, a gold digger. She cried on the stand, real tears, for her son's suffering, his imprisonment, his ruined life. Not for me, not for Evelyn, not for what he'd done. The jury watched, some sympathetic, some skeptical, impossible to read. Finally, both sides rested. Closing arguments began. The prosecutor summarized, clear, strong, pointing to evidence, video, text, medical records, insurance policy, pattern of abuse, premeditation, attempted murder. The defense countered, reasonable doubt, mental instability, suicide attempt, coincidence, alternative explanations, back and forth, narratives competing, truth versus lies, justice versus manipulation. Then the jury retired, to deliberate, to deceit, to judge. The wait was agony, hours, then a day, then 2 days. What were they discussing? What doubts did they have? Were they believing Derek, believing Barbara, doubting me? Marcus stayed confident. Long deliberation is good, means they're being thorough, considering all evidence. But doubt gnawed at me, constant, suffocating. What if they acquitted? What if Derek walked free? What if justice failed? Day 3 of deliberation, a note from the jury. They had questions about the video, about the timeline, about the insurance policy. Good signs, Marcus said, focusing on evidence, not emotion, not narratives. Day 4, another note. They'd reached a verdict. We returned to the courtroom. Everyone standing, the jury filed in, faces neutral, unreadable. The judge spoke. Has the jury reached a verdict? The 4-person stood. We have, Your Honor. On the charge of attempted murder in the 1st degree, how do you find? Time stopped. The courtroom held its breath. My heart pounded. Evelyn was with Megan, safe, unaware. We find the defendant guilty. The word crashed over me. Guilty. The jury believed me, believed the evidence, convicted Derek. More charges, assault, fraud, insurance fraud, all guilty, on every count. Derek's face went white, then red. He stood, tried to speak. His lawyers pulled him down, silenced him. Barbara screamed. Security escorted her out, still screaming, still defending, still refusing to see. The judge thanked the jury, dismissed them, set sentencing for 2 weeks. Derek was remanded, no bail, taken away in handcuffs. As they let him out, he looked at me. One last time, mouthed something. Might have been, I'll kill you. Might have been, I love you. Impossible to tell. Didn't matter. He was convicted, going to prison, away from me, away from Evelyn, away from our lives. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarmed. Questions, cameras, microphones. Marcus handled them. I just stood, numb, disbelieving, grateful. John was there, quiet, supportive. How do you feel? Empty, I said, relieved, terrified. Everything. That's normal, he replied. It takes time to process, to believe it's real. Megan brought Evelyn. I held my daughter. Tight, safe, free, finally free. It's over, Megan whispered. He can't hurt you anymore. Over, but also beginning. A new life, a new chapter. Without Derek, without fear, without constantly looking over my shoulder. Could I believe that? Could I trust it? Could I let go of the vigilance that had kept me alive? I didn't know, but I'd learn, I'd try, I'd heal. Slowly, carefully, one day at a time. We left the courthouse, drove back to Westchester, to the guest house, to safety, to home. That night I sat in the nursery, Evelyn asleep in my arms, rocking, just rocking, breathing, being. The prison door had been unlocked all along. I'd been my own warden, believing Derek's lies, believing I couldn't survive without him, believing I deserved the abuse, but I didn't. No one did. And I had survived, despite everything, against all odds. I'd survived, we'd survived, and now we'd thrive. 6 months after the trial. September, warm, golden, beautiful. I stood in my new apartment, my name on the lease, my deposit, my responsibility. Small, 1 bedroom. The nursery was my bedroom, converted, but it was mine. Every inch, every decision, every piece of furniture. Freedom smelled like fresh paint and possibility. Evelyn sat in her bouncer, 8 months old, thriving, laughing, reaching for toys. Perfect, healthy, happy. My daughter, who would never know Derek, never know fear, never know what her mother had survived to give her this life. I'd tell her someday, when she was older, when she could understand. But now she just needed love, safety, security, happiness, and I'd give her all of it. My phone rang. Work, I answered. This is Claire. Hi, Claire, it's Amanda from marketing. Quick question about the campaign. Work, I had work, Joa, marketing director at John's company. My choice, my terms, competitive salary, benefits, respect. I'd hesitated when John offered, worried about appearances, about people thinking he'd given me a charity, given me the job because of our history, but John had been clear. I'm not offering charity. I'm offering a position you are qualified for. Interview with the team. Prove yourself. If they don't want to hire you, I won't overrule, but give yourself a chance. I'd interviewed, proven myself. The team had voted to hire me. No special treatment, no favoritism, just qualifications, experience, talent, and now, 6 months in, I was excelling, respected, valued, myself again. Finally, fully. I finished the call, hung up, looked around my apartment, my life, my new beginning. A knock at the door. I checked the peephole. John. I smiled, opened it. Hi, he said, casual, jeans and a t-shirt. So different from the suits he wore at work. Thought I'd check in, see how moving went. Good, I said, gestured him inside. Still unpacking, but we're settled. John crouched beside Evelyn, made faces. She giggled, reached for him. He picked her up, natural, comfortable, safe. 6 months of careful friendship, rebuilding trust, rebuilding connection. No pressure, no expectations, just presence. Coffee, I offered? Please. We sat at my small kitchen table, sipped coffee, talked about work, about Evelyn, about life, easy, comfortable, real. How are you doing? John asked. Really? I considered. Better, most days. I still wake up scared sometimes. Still check locks obsessively. Still startle at loud noises, but I'm healing, slowly. That's all anyone can ask, John replied. Healing isn't linear. Some days are better, some worse, but the trend is upward. The trend was upward. I believe that. On good days, on days when Evelyn smiled, when work went well, when I felt strong. Bad days still came, days when memories overwhelmed, when triggers hit, when fear paralyzed. But bad days were becoming less frequent, less intense, less consuming. Progress, real, measurable, hopeful. Derek's sentencing was yesterday, John said. Gentle, careful. Did you watch? I had, online, from the safety of my apartment, with Megan beside me, holding my hand, providing support. 27 years, I said, with possibility of parole in 20. He'll be 56. Evelyn will be 20. How does that feel? John asked. Satisfying, I admitted, and insufficient. 27 years for trying to kill me, to kill Evelyn. It feels both too much and not enough. Justice rarely feels like enough, John said. But it's something. He's paying consequences. You're free. That matters. It did matter. Derek was in prison. I was here, building a life, raising my daughter, working, thriving. The contrast was stark, intentional, meaningful. I start therapy next week, I said. Regular sessions. To process everything, to heal properly. That's good, John approved. Necessary, brave. Brave. I didn't feel brave. I felt broken, but putting broken pieces back together. Slowly, carefully, with professional help. Are you dating? John asked suddenly, then backtracked. Sorry, that's too personal. Ignore me. I laughed. First real laugh in months. No, I'm not dating. Don't even think about it. The idea of trusting someone, being vulnerable, it terrifies me. That's normal, John said. After what you've been through, trust is earned, and it takes time to be ready. Are you dating? I asked. Turnabout. Fair play. John smiled, sad, warm. No, I'm not. I've been focused on other things. Like, I prompted, like being here for you, for Evelyn, as a friend, whatever you need. The words hung between us, meaningful, weighted, hopeful. John, I said carefully, I appreciate everything you've done, everything you've been, but you don't owe me anything. You don't have to keep showing up. I know, he replied. I'm not showing up out of obligation. I'm showing up because I want to, because I care, because maybe, someday, when you're Chad, we could try again. My heart clenched. Hope and fear mixed together, inseparable. I'm not ready, I said, honest, raw. I don't know when I'll be ready, if I'll be ready. I know, John said, and that's okay. I'm not asking for anything. Not now, not yet. I'm just here. When and if you want me. When, if, such small words, such huge implications. Thank you, I managed, for waiting, for being patient, for not pushing. Thank you for surviving, John replied. For fighting, for being here. We sat in comfortable silence. Evelyn played between us. Happy, oblivious, perfect. This moment, this peace, this safety, I'd fought for it, bled for it, nearly died for it. And I'd won. Not perfectly, not completely, but enough. I'd won enough. 3 months later, New Year's Eve, John's penthouse, small gathering. Megan, a few friends from work, comfortable, safe, fun. And Evelyn was with Megan's mother. Overnight, my first night away from her. Terrifying, necessary, healthy. You look beautiful, Megan said. We stood by the windows, watching the city, waiting for midnight. I wore a simple dress, nothing fancy, but clean, comfortable, mine. Thank you. How do you feel, she asked. About being here with Troya, after everything. Scared, I admitted, and hopeful. It's complicated. Life is complicated, Megan replied, but you're handling it better than most would. The countdown started. 10, 9, 8. People gathered. Champagne ready, excitement building. 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. Cheers, hugs, kisses, celebration, hope for the coming year, hope for new beginnings. John found me by the window, alone, watching fireworks explode over the city. Happy New Year, Claire. Happy New Year, I replied. Can I tell you something, he asked. Of course, Bougie. I never stopped loving you, John said. Quiet, intense, real. Even when you left, even when you married him, even when I tried to move on. Part of me always loved you. My breath caught. John, I know you're not ready, he continued. I know you need time. I know you need to heal. I'm not asking for anything. I just needed you to know. When you're ready, if you're ever ready, I'm here. Tears threatened, happy tears, sad tears, complicated tears. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for not trying to rescue me. Thank you for just being here. You didn't need rescuing, John said. You rescued yourself. I just held the door open. The metaphor landed, perfect, true. I'd saved myself, John had supported. But the strength, the courage, the fight, that had been mine. I'm not ready for a relationship, I said, honest, clear. But I'm getting there, slowly, with therapy, with time, with distance from Derek. Take all the time you need, John replied. I'm not going anywhere. He meant it. I believed it. And that belief, that trust, it was healing. Slowly, piece by piece, we watched the fireworks, side by side, not touching, but together, present, alive, hopeful. Spring came, April, 1 year after the trial. The anniversary passed quietly. I marked it, acknowledged it, but didn't dwell. Forward, always forward, never back. Work was thriving. I'd launched 3 successful campaigns, earned respect, earned promotions, earned confidence. Evelyn was walking, talking, into everything, exhausting, delightful, mine. Therapy was helping, slowly, uncovering patterns, healing wounds, building strength. I was happy, actually happy, genuinely happy, not pretending, not performing, not surviving, sitting. One afternoon, John stopped by, unannounced, unusual. I answered the door, surprised. Hi, what's up? Walk with me? He asked. There's something I want to show you. Curious, I agreed. Left Evelyn with Megan, walked with John through the neighborhood to a small park nearby. We sat on a bench, watched kids play, dogs run, life happening, normal, beautiful, safe. I've been thinking, John said, about us, about the future, about what you said on New Year's. Okay, I replied, cautious, hopeful. You said you were not ready for a relationship, and I respect that. But I want you to know I'm not waiting for you to be ready. I'm just here, living my life. And if our lives intersect, if they become intertwined again, that's wonderful. But if they don't, that's okay too. The words were freeing, removing pressure, removing expectation, removing the weight of his waiting. Thank you, I said, for understanding, for not making me feel guilty. You have nothing to feel guilty about, John replied. You're healing. You're building a life. You're being a mother. That's enough, more than enough. Is it enough for you? I asked. Being friends, maybe never being more. John smiled. I'd rather have you in my life as a friend than not have you at all. So yes, it's enough. We sat in silence, comfortable, real, honest. For what it's worth, I said, I do think about it, about us, about maybe trying again, someday. Someday is enough, John replied. Someday is hope, and hope is powerful. We left the park, walked back to my apartment. John said goodbye, left. No expectations, no pressure, just friendship, and maybe, someday, something more. Summer came, June, warm, bright, alive. Evelyn turned 1. We had a small party, Megan, John, friends from work, cake, presents, laughter, normal, beautiful, everything I'd fought for, everything I'd survived for. That night, after everyone left, I sat in the nursery. Evelyn asleep in her crib, 1-year-old, healthy, happy, safe. I'd done this, protected her, provided for her, given her a life free from fear, free from violence, free from Derek. The victory was quiet, personal, but complete. I finally understood, I whispered to sleeping Evelyn. The prison door had been unlocked all along. I'd been my own warden, believing his lies, believing I couldn't survive, believing I deserved the abuse. But I didn't deserve it. No one does. And I did survive. We survived, and now we're thriving. This is not where I expected my life to go. It's better. because it's mine, finally, completely mine. I kissed her forehead, turned off the light, left her room. In my bedroom, I looked in the mirror, saw myself clearly, for the first time in years, strong, scarred, surviving, thriving, transformed. The woman Derek had tried to destroy, she was gone, dead, buried with the past. The woman standing here, she was new, rebuilt, better, stronger, fiercer, and she was free. Finally, completely, beautifully, free. I smiled at my reflection. Genuine, happy, real. "Hello, Claire," I whispered. "Welcome back." Then I turned off the light, climbed into bed, closed my eyes, and slept. Peacefully, safely, without fear. For the first time in 6 years, I slept without fear. And that was everything. Claire's story reminds us that survival is possible, that speaking up matters, that starting over, no matter how impossible it feels, is always worth it. If this story moved you, if it made you think, if it gave you hope, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Tell me your thoughts. Share your own story of strength if you're comfortable. This community is built on support, on listening, on believing survivors. And if you know someone who needs to hear Claire's story, someone who's struggling, someone who needs hope, share this video. Your share might save a life. Truly, hit that like button if you want more stories like this. Real stories, raw stories, stories that matter. And subscribe. Because every week we're telling stories of survival, of transformation, of people who refuse to let their circumstances define them. You're not alone. None of us are. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing. Until next time, remember, the door is never as locked as it seems. Freedom is possible. You are stronger than you know. Take care of yourselves and each other.